This ain't me and Dylan's first rodeo. It's actually our second.
Word.
Our second rodeo.
Cool. Well,
Is it our second?
It might be our
I
third.
was about to say, isn't this our third?
Is one of my three is
I
one
think
of my favorite numbers.
At that point, you don't even have to say which one you're on anymore. You can just say, "This ain't my first rodeo."
Yeah, this ain't my first rodeo. I does this.
I'm a
son.
seasoned veteran of just
this,
saying
son.
some stuff.
All right, here we go.
30 seconds.
You got my time. Can you start my time for me, man? Let's see what I got. Road trips.
That's a good one.
All right. Yeah, I love taking road trips, man. Lately, as an adult, I took a road trip to New Orleans. That's probably the longest I ever drove. But actually, besides that, I drove for quite a while on tour. So that's probably like 10, 11 hours.
Damn.
Yeah.
But weirdest thing that happened to me on a road trip, though, is when we drove to Milwaukee from Texas. We were driving back home, and I straight up just fainted in the bathroom, fell straight on my face.
What?
Wow.
Only time I ever fainted in my life. And yeah.
Damn.
Wow. Were you out cold?
Huh?
But did you like did you get up right after, or were
Yeah.
you out for a minute?
Me, my film. Yeah. I can't talk about it anymore. My time's up.
Shit, damn.
I wish.
We've been cut off.
Oh, damn, y'all strict with it, boy. Damn.
Yeah, my
Hey,
time. Yeah,
That's,
you know.
that's
That's how it
discipline.
goes.
That's discipline, bro.
That's
All
how
right.
it goes.
Will Smith would be so proud, bro.
It's called show business, dang it. No,
Hell
I'm just
yeah.
playing.
Hell yeah.
All right.
What
You
we
ready?
got? Yeah, I'm ready.
Good experience.
Shaving your pubic hair.
Word.
You ready? Cool. Yeah, shaving your pubic hair, it's a delicate subject in a multitude of ways. You know, it's sometimes necessary if that's where you want to be in life and you think somewhat little bit of maintenance is required. It's not the worst thing in the world. Some people appreciate it. I mean, it takes different strokes for different folks. Different designs get the vibes, you know, all that good stuff. So really, I mean, as long as you're taking care of business, you feel good about what you got,
Hey,
could be
time.
worse.
Literal
Nice.
strokes. Different.
Shout out to you. Sometimes you gotta go there. You know, it all depends on your stage of life, right?
All right, let's get up.
It just depends.
I'm feeling good. Oh, you got quite a few in here, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
We
good.
thick.
Foolish.
I found my one, bro. I found my one. All right. Sex ed. Yeah.
Oh.
Sex ed.
Oh.
Let me know when I can start. So I just go in on it?
Yeah.
Sex ed, they never taught us in my school because I went to a very country conservative, very boring, pasty, mayonnaise school where they didn't teach us nothing. So, you know, I had to do sex ed on my own. So, you know, shout out to all those XXX sites that taught me sex ed. It's pretty much like homeschool sex ed. It was cool. It made me a better man, and I learned how to eat vagina through my own homeschool sex education through the internet of illegal sites.
Time.
We got a
Nice.
novel in 30 seconds. I love
that
it.
was dope. See, yeah, that's the point of the game, man. See, you know what you
tight.
can just dig out of your mind
That was
from,
fun.
you know, that type of shit.
That was a
Can you
good
put
one,
this
bro.
back in there?
See, I felt that was like, oh yeah, son. This
Yeah. Alrighty. Coming in hot, it's the Loose Cannon Show. I'm Shelly Nix. I got my boy Dylan Harkins in here with me right hand, man.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen?
Today we got a really, really good friend, good guy, amazing talent. This brother's come a long way, y'all.
Yeah, son.
He's come a long way. All the way from just being like a little farmer's boy in Sherman, Texas, you know, to Texas State, college kid at Texas State, to being featured in Hollywood, you know, to, you know, Comedy Central, been on Drunk History, you know
All
what I'm
that.
saying? Been on, have you been on Netflix?
yeah, man.
Been on Netflix, you know what I'm saying? Been in the theaters, you know, been on the short films, been in the Hollywood parties, bumping the shoulders, you know what I'm saying? Doing the shimmy,
Doing
you
something
know.
like that.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you our friend, Jordan MacDonald.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Dang, that was a good intro, bro.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a good intro.
I was rehearsing that in the car when I was going to lunch.
I was like,
today.
dang.
Wow.
I was like, dang, I've done that, bro. Yeah, bro. It's crazy, bro. I've done a lot of like things I don't even realize that I've done, bro. It's cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here, yo. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Good energy,
man.
good vibes. My boys, bro. We go
Yeah.
11 years. 10
Yeah,
years,
man.
11
About
years?
way back, man.
Yeah, long time, bro.
It's a privilege to even be doing this.
We're
with,
18 when we met, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy to think.
Wow.
Who were you when you were 18? Like, what?
Bro,
what
I was a fucking because I was very like sheltered.
Did you have your fro? You had your fro.
I had
when
the
you
fro
were
when I was
18.
18, and then I cut it off my sophomore year of college.
Okay.
And then I grew that shit again. I was like, short hair is whack, bro. I'm
over it.
I need to look like a lion, son. Like,
Yeah,
I need to
yeah.
look like a fucking lion. You know what I'm
The
saying?
mane billowing and all that.
Yeah, bro. I need that shit to blow in the wind and shit, bro.
Yeah, I felt like when I cut my hair off, I felt like I was like instantly I had to grow it back.
Yeah,
I
bro.
have
It's
to.
something about. I don't know. It's like your crown, bro. That shit grows out of your head. And my hair grows to the sky, bro. My shit's getting closer to God, son.
Yeah, man,
You
dude.
know?
Yeah,
Getting closer to
the
the
amount of
sun.
times I've seen your hair come and go is amazing, man. That shit
Yeah.
is wild.
Yeah, it grows fast. It grows fast, and now I'm like at the point where I don't see myself cutting this shit unless somebody offered at least 10K. Somebody offered
10K?
Yeah, somebody offered. I got offered a job that was paying $1,500, and they were like, "Well, you have to cut your hair at $1,500." I was like, "No."
You would like skirt.
Yeah, no, it's not enough. It's not enough.
Damn.
It's not enough. At least 10K, bro. Troy Polamalu's hair is insured for $1 million.
Really?
I'm trying to get on that level. Like I want my hair to be insured.
You got
It doesn't have to be for $1 million, $500,000. That'd be tight. That'd be fire. Shit,
Yeah,
75,000. That'd be tight.
Shit. So, all right, man. Well, let's start from the grassroots,
Word.
man. So, like, we talked before, and you always talk about like how, you know, in your early days living in Sherman, Texas, on a,
man.
you know, and
Black Angus cattle ranch.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
raised on a Black Angus cattle ranch, bro. We raised beef. Yeah, we raised beef cattle. I'm gonna just put this over the fro, bro. It sounds better. All right, I don't look too crazy.
Nah, man.
All right, cool. Yeah. No, I was raised on a beef cattle ranch in
Yeah.
Sherman, Texas. I have a lot of siblings. I think I got like 6.
Wow.
I haven't met everyone, but yeah, it was mostly like in Sherman. It was my older brother and my older sister for a minute, and my younger sister and me, and my parents. And bro, it was just country living. Like it was about as country as you can get, bro.
Wow.
Like I went back to Sherman for the first time in probably 15 years last year,
Yeah.
and it looks exactly the same. And it's the boonies. It literally is the boonies.
What do you do for like fun when you live in a
Nothing,
place like
bro.
that?
Nothing. You throw cow shit at each other, bro. That's what we did. For real. We throw
Great time.
cow shit at each other.
That's raunchy.
Yeah,
that's Black Angus raunchy.
Yeah, bro. It's
Much
super
raunchy.
raunchy. My brother used me for target practice for paintball one time. That was some bullshit.
Wow.
I got hit once. I was like, y'all crazy. Fuck y'all, bro.
Oh man.
Brotherly
None of
love.
that shit. Yeah, bro. Yeah, you like there's literally nothing to do. Like there's even like people don't even hang out at the mall in Sherman. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing to do there.
Is there a mall in Sherman?
Yeah, but it's they had a Target, and Target took all like the population. They opened up a Target in Sherman,
That's how it
and
happens.
then people were like, "They got a Target in Sherman now, bro. I'm not going to the mall. I'm going to Target." So,
Go loiter at Target. What are you
yeah, it
talking
was great.
about?
Like, yo, it was literally like I remember we moved out of Sherman a year or two after the Target and Best Buy opened, and people were so lit about Target and Best Buy. Yeah, bro.
What
I was
year
lit.
was that?
This was, bro, I moved out of Sherman 2005, going
Wow.
into 2006.
Mhm.
Yeah. And moved to Montgomery, Texas, was just another country ass town. But we raised horses out there. So it was different.
Cool.
Yeah, I got rid of the cows, raised horses in Montgomery. But I was 12 turning 13 when we moved out of Sherman. So I
That's
spent
when they
most
got
of
the
my
Best
life. Yeah. So they got the Best Buy when I was 10.
That's like
so-
before you can buy like a microwave at Best Buy.
Yeah.
So
Strictly TVs and
Yeah.
or other electronics.
Yeah, it's a
MP3
weird town. There's like
players.
there's a really bad meth problem out there. You go to the
Damn.
Walmart out there after 8 p.m. and you see some.
That's where they at?
Yeah, man, that's where
The hooligans.
you see a bunch of people with black teeth or no teeth.
Damn.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
probably a bitch to see, man, when you're just like a kid.
No,
you
man,
know?
because I didn't know what. I just thought people would look like that. So
Right,
I just
right.
thought that was normal. And then it was actually after we moved out, my parents were. When I was 16, my parents told me that Sherman has a really bad meth problem. And when we were there in 2005, when we were there, that was our last year there. So allegedly, Sherman was number 1 in Texas for meth.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Number
which is
one.
Maybe
great.
like arrests or like.
I'm not exactly sure, but
They always throw the numbers out like that, though.
I
you
literally
know?
knew 6th graders that were cooking meth.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn,
seriously,
man.
seriously. Yeah, I had cousins
Breaking
that were on the
Bad.
shit. I had some cousins that were on meth. I think
Solid,
my uncle was
solid
probably on it too.
extracurriculars.
What did you like? Do you kind of remember your time in Sherman?
Yeah.
Texas,
Oh yeah,
huh?
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Very vividly.
what did you when you were a kid and you're like you talking about you know you're raised with nothing to do in the boonies, you know, throwing cow shit at each other,
Yeah.
seeing meth heads and all that shit. What did you like? Where did you see yourself when you were like there?
Bro,
Like,
I
what did
was,
you see yourself
I
doing?
was well.
What'd you think? You know.
So I was a mixed kid in an all-white town, right? So I stood out without even like trying to, because everybody was just very like country white kids and stuff,
Yeah.
and it was me and one other black girl, Ariana Jones. Like she's the homie.
Shout out to Ariana Jones.
Shout out to Ariana
Shout out.
Jones.
Yeah.
She's married, so her last name is different now. But yeah, you know who you are, Queen. But but no, so I stood out, and I always knew. I can remember vividly as a kid seeing Will Smith on TV or seeing like Kenan and Kel and literally being like, that's what I'm gonna do. Like I just remember having
Hell
those
yeah.
like thoughts when I was mad little, and
That's awesome.
yeah, so I was always kind of like in my own world. I was super into video games. My dad was weird about comic books. He wouldn't let us read comic books because he had like a cousin that got obsessed over comic books.
Really, that's a weird thing to be like. Nah, you can't.
Yeah,
fuck
so
with
he was
comic
like,
books, yeah.
no comic books at all.
You would
no
think that
matter
he'd be like
what.
that towards like. Well, I don't know your dad, of course, but like you would think that people would be like that towards like video.
For video
games.
games, nah, yeah, no.
And like
But video games made me creative and stuff. Cause I was mad Nintendo.
Yeah,
So
they're inspiring.
Legend of Zelda, stuff like that. Like, yo, Legend of Zelda, bro, like for real, shaped my life.
Oh yeah, Colin fuck with the Zelda.
Yeah, bro, Zelda's
Ocarina
hard,
of
bro.
Time.
Bro, Majora's Mask, that shit used to give me so many nightmares. My mom would get so mad because I would wake up screaming.
That's a scary game.
Yeah, I would have the same nightmare every night too. When he puts on the mask right before he turns into like a Goron or a Zora, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would like put on the mask and start turning into one of the motherfuckers, bro. And then I'll wake up like sweating, screaming, crying, all types of shit. But yeah, I always knew I was going to like perform.
Yeah.
Like, that just I feel like that was always at my core was a performance. I used to do imitations and shit for my family and stuff. I would like imitate my dad and my uncle and stuff.
Yeah.
And I always liked when people were watching me do something goofy. I always liked when people were like smiling and laughing and stuff over something I was doing. That was always something. 'Cause I didn't know it was
Good
gonna
vibe.
be translate all the way into just jumping all the way into stand-up comedy and stuff. But it's always been like, yo, I like performing for people because it makes them feel good, which makes me feel good, and that I always knew that in Sherman. But in Sherman, stuff like L.A. and stuff like living in New York and stuff that doesn't exist. It's just it's just some fantastical place on TV, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, bro, because I know people I was in kindergarten with that married each other, got kids, still going to the same elementary school that we all went to and stuff. That
There are kids going
have
there
never
now.
been on an airplane, have never left Texas, you know,
Yeah.
have never left like the Sherman, Texas area. And that's crazy to me. I know so many people that are like that, and I'm literally the only person that I know that actually like really got out like that too.
Yeah.
Besides Ariana, she moved out to California. She lives in Northern California too.
Nice,
But
nice.
people do not move. Like people don't leave Sherman, Texas. It's one of those places where it's a vacuum, and
Yeah.
people believe that the whole world is like that. And so
It's so crazy that there's so many places like
Damn.
that.
yeah, bro.
Like,
That's most of
you
America.
know?
That's most
Yeah.
of America, bro. I've traveled a lot on the road across the United States. I've been to like 32 different states.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well
and-
traveled.
Yeah, man. Traveling is important, bro. Every time you travel, every time you go somewhere different, you always come back a different person. Like you always come back a more evolved version of yourself. Because when you travel, you go to some place that's completely foreign to you, no matter where it is. If it's your first time going there,
The
it's
air is
always
different.
it's
Yeah.
always. So you're never gonna come back the same person. It's just like you never can step in the same river twice. You never come back as the same person
Yeah.
that you were before you even just going to like some random small Texas town. Like, damn, they were wilding out there, bro. I'm not ever going back over there. I know,
Lesson
I'm not
learned.
gonna do that shit no more. Like stuff like that, but also in more positive ways too. Like, yeah.
Do you have
Well,
a?
Go ahead,
So-
go ahead. You got
Do
it.
you have a favorite trip? You said you've been to 32 states. That's a lot of states.
Yeah, 32 states and 6 countries.
Wow. The list gets longer. That's wild. So, yes.
Traveling out of the country was the craziest shit ever. I traveled right before the pandemic happened, 2019 going into 2020. And that was my first time going out the country. And the craziest shit to me, bro, was seeing how many black people are in Europe and how many black people are in London. Like, it was, bro, I met this young woman who was working at this thrift shop in this area called Brick Lane in London. It's this OG spot where people like the Rolling Stones and Jimi Hendrix would go and shop out on Brick Lane whenever they would hit London and stuff. And so it's this legendary, bro. You can just tell, like, bro, this is a legendary like spot. And I met this young black woman who had a British accent. She was fine and had a British accent, and it was blowing my mind, bro. I was like, Shorty is like a dark skinned, like fine Shorty, and she has a British accent, bro. This is
Said, "I'm in
crazy,
love."
bro. I'm talking to the queen right now.
Yeah.
But also just being in like Italy and France and Germany. Bro, Germany, I went to Berlin, Germany. I got off the plane. I thought Berlin, Germany was going to be a bunch of just blonde-haired, blue-eyed, like very pale white people.
Yeah.
I get off the plane in Berlin, Germany, bro, and I'm walking around and everybody looks like me. Everybody's mixed.
Wow.
It was the craziest shit ever. Like, most people in Berlin, Germany are mixed with like West African and German. There's a bunch of like West African and people in Germany. And
Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, like Europe is crazy because there's so many. Like, I just thought it was gonna be white people everywhere. It's black people everywhere.
Nice.
It was dope.
Mishmash.
Yeah, it was cool.
All right, man. So, well, before we get into the stand-up comedy, I know
Yeah.
you mentioned comedy earlier, and we've been seeing you doing your thing, man. It's really cool to see.
Thank you.
Before that, I guess it kind of translates, but before that, you were into acting and theater. And
I'm still into acting. I still act. It was just
Well, where did that start? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Oh,
where did
okay,
this all begin?
man. It began with like the performing thing, man. It began with
technically like. Where did you?
Okay,
were you in plays in high school?
Okay, no,
Or-
no, bro.
Wait, what were you?
Yeah,
You know, what
I
I'm
got
saying?
Take
What
us
were you
all the
looking
way
at?
back.
The very first time I ever did anything that was acting related was when I was 14. I got cast in this film that actually got shot in Montgomery, Texas, where I went to high school, called The Man Who Came Back. Is directed by Glenn Petray. The lead actor is Eric Brayton. He was one of the like huge actors from one of those big soap operas back in the day. Like, but yeah, I was 14 years old. My history teacher, she told me about it. She was like, "Hey, I got this email about they're shooting this movie out here. I think you would be cool for it. I'm gonna send you your name in.
Nice,
if you don't
Nice,
mind." And I was
because
like,
you were
"Alright."
just already that guy.
Yeah,
she was
I
like,
was-
"Yo, Jordan's the guy."
Yeah.
for
She
this.
This is who needs
she
to do
saw
this.
it. She saw it in me. Like, for real, she really did see it before. Like, I saw it to a degree, right?
Nice.
And so she sent me in. They called me in for an audition, and yeah, I got cast on this movie. It was a historical film. It's called The Man Who Came Back. It's about the Thibodeau massacre in Louisiana. It's about how like slavery has finished. It's like 2 or 3 years after slavery, but a lot of what people don't realize, after slavery ended in the United States, a lot of plantations actually ended up keeping this, because these black folks, they didn't have anywhere to go.
Yep.
Right? So a lot of them ended up staying on the plantation, but they were getting paid. And on this one particular plantation in Thibodeau County in Louisiana, the people that owned the plantation were paying them in a paper money that could only be spent at this one store. And then they were raising the prices for all the black people.
Yeah.
Right? And so the former enslaved people were saying $1 a day or we're going to Kansas.
Yeah.
And the people that own the plantation were like, fuck that. And so pretty much it's about them. And then one of the people that used to work on the plantation, he goes against and does his best to help out the people that were enslaved migrate to Kansas and stuff. And so it was based on a true story. It was really cool
Wow.
to be a part of. And yeah, I actually got a close up in that movie. I got shot in the head. I flipped over a tree.
In your first movie, you were shot?
Yeah, first movie, I was shot in the
What
head.
an entrance.
Close up, bro. 14 years old.
Boom.
Son. And
14? Wow.
And I knew from then, that was when I fell in love with filmmaking and acting. I knew, like, yo, I can do this.
If you tell me to like get shot as a 14-year-old, I'm like, yo, let's fucking do
bro,
this.
it was so
I'm gonna hit the ground. So did you fall? You hit the ground?
Yeah. I remember
whole nine
I was
yards.
running and then I step over this log. When I get over the log, they shoot me, boom, and I flipped over. And boom, boom.
Wow.
The camera comes in my face. There's a little blood drop, and like they put a prosthetic bullet hole in my forehead. It was so dope. It was literally, I was living a kid's dream, bro.
Dude,
it was the coolest thing ever.
Man.
It's the coolest thing ever.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and so that was the first.
You
movie.
basically got shot for real, and like somebody like a kid's eyes.
It was so dope. It was so dope. And my dad was actually in it with me. They ended up like, they were like, yo, you want to do this too? And he was like, all right, I guess so. My dad got like his screen time. My dad's in the beginning of the movie and shit. It's tight. But
was he just like he was just dropping you off?
Yeah, he was just dropping me off, and they're like, "Yo, you have a good look. Do you want to do it too?" And he was like, "Oh, whatever." I
Your
guess
dad's
so.
like,
yeah.
Well, you know.
But then,
while I'm here.
But it was cool because my dad's a very like old school, very you get a regular job type energy, right? He can't help. He was born in 1950 or whatever, so he's an older cat. But I remember when he did the film too. He got a whole new respect for filmmaking because he was like, yo, I didn't know how much work actually goes into this. And this is actually like really work. This is a real job and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was cool to see him kind of have a change of perspective on the whole like acting world and entertainment world because he said, yo, he saw how much work actually goes into making movies and stuff like that. And that was really cool. But that's what planted the seed. That's what planted the seed when I was 14 that's how I fell in love with acting, was doing that movie. And then I went to Texas State with y'all where I met y'all, and I used to skip class and come out to Austin and do background work for like TV shows and commercials and all types of stuff. Yeah, I did that. But I did that when I was from 18 until I turned... the last movie I did was the James Cameron movie when I turned 23. That was...
Which James Cameron movie?
Lead a Battle Angel. James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I had been 18 to 23. I had been just doing background work for different TV shows and movies out here in Austin. And I dropped out of school. I didn't graduate. I dropped out my senior year. I was like, man, fuck this shit. I'm done with this. I don't know. Dumb. It messed with my mental health to a degree where I was like, yo, this is not worth me like going fucking nuts pretty much.
Well, I mean, check this out. Like, you were skipping class to prepare yourself for the future that you feel like you're destined for.
Yeah, and then I remember my professors, because I was studying theater, and my theater professors were like, well, this absence is going to go against you. And I'm like, I'm going to go do what I'm in school for. Like, why are y'all tripping?
You're going to make me come sit in class.
Yeah, it was so stupid to me. I was like, I don't care. I'm leaving. Bro, I've walked out on jobs to go and do something.
I'm out.
But yeah, so anyways, I was doing a lot of background work, 18 to 24 to 23. I see the Robert Rodriguez and James Cameron posting on one of my email sites, one of my email lists that I'm getting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, Robert Rodriguez, James Cameron, I'm definitely going to submit to this just for general background.
Yeah.
I submit to general background, my headshot and resume. 2 hours later, I get a call from one of the casting directors, and the first thing that this lady says is, "We love your hair. Are you available for a fitting?" I don't know what any of this stuff means. I'm like, sure, yeah, whatever, cool.
Nice first impression.
Yeah. So I come in. I ended up getting cast as a feature role, and so what that is it's like an upgrade from background. It's like, okay, you're not background anymore. We're gonna put you with the lead character, and you're gonna run around with them and do some shit with them for a minute.
Yeah.
And I remember I went in for the fitting. In the dressing room, I see Jessica Alba's costume from Sin City in there because Robert Rodriguez did Sin City as well.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Right? And the first day, they called me to set. I shot for 2 weeks. The first day they called me to set, I pull up to this movie set that has a $220 million budget. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I'm freaking out driving up. I'm like, yo, like, they really just hired me for this shit, bro. What is going on? And that they make me actually check in with the general background.
Yeah.
I go and check in with the general background, and they're like, "Oh, Jordan, oh, no, come with us." Right? I'm like, "Oh, shoot, getting some exclusive treatment, right?"
So, can you take my jacket?
Yeah. So some of the PAs on set, they production assistant, for if you don't know what PA means. Some of the production assistants, they check me in, and then they take me to the main set or whatever, to where all the principal cast and crew are. And they're like, "Yo, go ahead and eat. Sit down where you can get you checked in." Bro, I'm getting food. First of all, they have like 5 buffet lines and like 6 different chefs that are just cooking up whatever you want. All different types of, yeah. And then I get my food, bro. I sit down. Robert Rodriguez and James Cameron are sitting across from me. Mahershala Ali is sitting next to Robert Rodriguez. Wow. And I'm like, what the fuck?
There are people here.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? What's up?" I'm like, I know who the fuck y'all are. Like, yeah.
Don't mind
crazy,
me.
bro. It was like that was the moment though where it clicked. Like, nah, I got this. This is. There's no other reason why I'm here. You
What's
know
like
what I'm
you?
saying?
I mean, to feel like to be in the same room even as Robert Rodriguez and all these
bro.
other people, it has to like you're already deep.
And for
you're
them
deep
to
in it at that
acknowledge me,
point.
and then
Oh yeah.
after shooting that, so I shot a week in November, and then I shot a week in February for that movie. Then February 2017, it was November 2016, and then February 2017. I moved to LA March 2017. Fast forward 2 years to February 2019. They had the premiere for Alita. I'm on the red carpet. This is my first like Hollywood premiere.
Glitz and glamour.
James Cameron gets onto the red carpet. He looks up at me, walks over to me, and says, "Hugo's posse, right? I'm James." I was like, "Bro, I'm Jordan, son. Yeah. My name is Jordan, James. What's up, James? What's up, Jim?" He likes when you call him Jim, you know? It was just crazy because he recognized me, you know? He literally like saw me and was like, "Oh, snap, like nice to meet you." Like, it's like, yo, this is nuts. Like, this is really fucking nuts. And the craziest thing about that, bro, I'll never forget, when I was 20 years old, and whatever you believe about law of attraction stuff, like, you know, you can have your opinions on it, whatever. When I was 20 years old, I will never forget this. I remember literally saying out loud to myself, I was by myself, I said, by the time I'm 25, I will be in a James Cameron movie. I don't know how, but it'll happen. Shot Alita when I was 23. It got released when I was 25. This is one of the craziest things. Yeah, like literally. And I just remember saying it, and I don't know, it just never, whatever. And then that shit happened, and I was like, yo, about to, see what else.
I think it's very easy to believe in like things like the law of attraction, but when it actually happens and yet actually all the dots connect, it's like
it's mind-blowing,
fucking,
bro.
it's like a fucking battery in your back, man. It's crazy, crazy inspiration.
And so
just reaffirms.
So yeah, I shot Alita. That's when I really fully believed, like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. So I just jumped out to LA. I didn't have a plan. I didn't really tell anybody. The people I did tell, I was just like, oh, I'm going to LA for 4 days.
Oh, back a little bit.
Yeah, and 4 days ended up being 3.5 years.
What kind of things did you like do like to survive in LA?
Bro,
like,
I slept in my car. I slept in my car pretty much the entire time. If I ever had like extra money, I would get an Airbnb and just sleep for I would just have a day where I would just sleep for like 16 hours because I wasn't really sleeping that well in the back of a Kia Soul or whatever.
I bet.
But bro, I did all types of odd jobs. I did all types of weird acting stuff. That's
what I'm saying. That's what we want to know. Like,
yeah,
those little weird things that
I remember one time I got fake arrested for some bounty hunter show.
Nice.
Got fake arrested.
Fake arrested, yeah, bro.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, so you know those bounty hunter shows where they go and like, oh, you owe someone blah 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 blah, you owe the bank, whatever, you haven't made payments in 6 months and you're evading your baby mama and shit like that. It was one of those joints.
Was it dog?
No, it wasn't dog. It wasn't dog. Bro.
You don't want dog coming to your door.
Bro, it was a bootleg dog. It was a bootleg dog. It was more like pup. You know what I'm saying? That
sounds about right.
It was more like pup, bro.
That adds up.
Yeah, so that was weird. I remember they had me park outside of a Denny's.
Outside of a Denny's.
They had me park out of a dude. They're like, yo, we're gonna have you park here this time, and
Yeah.
we're just gonna pull up on you. I was like, all right, cool, whatever,
Cool.
whatever, bro. They pull
Sounds
up on
like
me,
fun.
cause I'm like, yo, the time has passed that I think they did this on purpose. So they said they were gonna be at like they're at 7:35. It's like 6:42, and I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
where the fuck are these? You know?
Yeah.
So I get out my car and I'm like trying to like look around. And then this dude just
Wow.
pulls up on me mad serious. I'm like, oh shit, it's go time.
Oh,
and he's
shit,
like,
okay.
and they gave me
Uh-oh.
a fake name. Yeah, they gave me like a fake name. All types of
What was
shit,
your
yeah.
fake name?
It was something like Micah or some bullshit like that. Yeah, something goofy.
Micah?
Something goofy, right?
Like, this is your name now.
They pulled up
Like,
and they're
alright,
like,
whatever.
you've been evading making payments on your something, right?
He said, no, thank you
And
for those
bro,
payments.
they put me in the back of this car and stuff, and
They put you in the back of a car?
yeah, they have a bounty hunter like police car that
Okay.
a dude is driving. They put me in the back of this shit, bro. It's this chick filming. They put me in the back of this car, and I'm like, I'm just talking, man. I'm like, yo, I'm juicing this shit up. Too.
Wait. So when you get out the car
So I get out of my car. I'm like looking around because I'm like, yo, where are these people? This dude like pulls up.
and
like,
that's when it actually started.
Yeah, that's
though.
when it
I know
started.
you said that like, okay, it's on, but that's when it actually.
Yeah, that's when
okay,
it actually
that's when it started.
Yeah,
okay.
that's when it started. So I was like, okay, this is happening right now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna play along, use my improv skills, whatever. Do.
Did
Yeah.
you resist arrest?
No, I didn't resist arrest.
They're like, throw it wild out real quick.
I don't remember exactly what I saw it once, bro, and I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever. I'm
Damn.
never watching this shit again. This is so stupid. But I got paid like $250 for that shit.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
I'd get fake
They
arrest
had
for
me like
$250.
going, but the funniest part was they had me going around the back of the car, and he was like, "What payment? How much can you pay today?" And I was like, "Bro, I only got what I got." Like I was talking, I was like, "Bro, I only got what I got. I
Sorry.
told you what I got. I told you what I can do, bro. Like it's not gonna get done right now. So why you?
Yeah.
I was, like juicing
Why
up.
are you tripping?
And he was like, I'm gonna take you to an ATM and you pull out this much and I'll take you back to your car and then you can make the rest of the payments like starting next month.
Uh-huh.
So we were like, all right, cool. I'll come to a consensus with you, son. Like, hitting
I will
juicing the
come
shit
to
up,
a
bro.
consensus.
We go to a gas station. He
Nice.
like gets out the car, walks me in. I'm in handcuffs, mind you. I'm in handcuffs this entire fucking time, bro. We're walking
It's all chill.
into the fucking ATM in the gas station, and he's like, stay here. And he walks up to the ATM, pulls out some bread, puts it in my back pocket, and takes me back to the car, bro.
Wow.
And then drives me back to my car, and he was like, ended it, and yeah, I left. It was very
Well,
weird.
see you later.
When you watch shows like 'cause we've all seen
Yeah.
shows like that. Did you know it worked like that?
So.
When you were
So
watching, like,
this in particular one, I'm not gonna say the name of, I don't even remember the fucker's name, but he was a real bounty hunter, but they needed extra episodes for this season.
Yeah.
So they were hiring actors but they actually would go around and do like bounty arrests on people, like
Yeah.
legit people that
Legit arrests,
Yeah, and they would
okay.
record it and shoot it the entire
so
time.
the
Yeah,
show
it
was real.
It was real, but my particular case was not. They just needed an extra
Okay.
episode for the season, right? They didn't have enough real
Interesting.
like criminals that had like bounties that were
We
out
need
on
more
them.
footage.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, bro, everything you see that's supposedly real on TV is 90% of the time scripted. Completely.
Yeah.
Damn.
Completely.
Right.
Bro,
Shocker.
I've seen so much like reality TV. They literally have scripts for like literally scripts, just like a scripted TV show, like a regular like narrative TV show.
I have a friend he's not really my friend, but he's a guy I know of and I've seen before. But he's been on Cheaters. He's
I
been
know who
on
you're talking about.
Cheaters.
I
He's
know who
been
you're
on
talking
like one of
about.
the, I don't think it was Judge Judy, but he's been on one
Yeah.
of those judge shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like, man, he does a really good job at like making it
Is he a
seem like a
mutual
joke.
Just yucks
known
it up.
person with Trent too?
Does he what?
Is he mutually known by Trent?
Maybe his
Yeah.
name's Mecca Jackson.
Oh
think
no, I know.
Mecca
dang,
Jackson.
I know somebody else. Me and Trent know somebody else that was on Cheaters.
He does it. He's a really cool dude. He has this like venue. I think it's his venue called Creators Don't Die.
Yeah.
And it's out in Dallas. But
Also
I remember
from
he
him.
came here and did a show in Austin. It's like a little tour they do, I guess. But it's called Fubu Palooza. And everybody's wearing throwbacks in 2000.
Hell yeah.
One time he booked
a good
Murphy
time.
Lee for it.
That's
He
tight.
booked Genuine for one.
You remember that interview when Genuine was
Damn.
coked out? On,
No.
TV with TNT.
It must be a
Tank.
classic one.
Yeah.
Throwback.
What's the group that he's in? Genuine Tank. Genuine,
TGT?
Yeah, TGT.
The Tyrese
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Tank, yeah.
Yeah, they were performing on like Good Morning America, bro, and Gene was coked the fuck out. He was just like going back and forth. It was like, bro, come on, chill, bro.
Let's do it.
Chill, bro.
Oh,
chill.
shit.
Like, pump the brakes a little bit.
Chill, bro.
The genuine, man.
Yeah.
Got me spilling my drink. The cab.
That'll do it.
But yeah, I also I did a bunch of crazy stuff in LA, man. LA was so much fun before the pandemic happened, bro.
You said you
And-
saw Wiz Khalifa in a party one time, didn't you?
Yeah, one of my actually the very first party I went to in LA, it was at a bowling alley in North Hollywood, and
Was anybody bowling?
yeah, people were bowling. Wiz Khalifa was bowling.
I hope
Wiz
so.
Khalifa was bowling. Neo was there. I met Neo. Neo got a shiny ass head, bro. Neo's
Dude.
super bald headed.
He's always wearing them goddamn fedoras and fucking
Bro, he had
Kangos,
no
so
fedora, he had
everybody
no-
forgets that
he
he's
had-
bald.
Bro, he had no Kango on tonight.
Came in
This
unequipped.
is not the night Neo had his Kango on. But yeah, and Wiz Khalifa was there, and he was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "What's up, bro?" Yeah, it's cool. Like when
Damn.
I don't really give a fuck about. I'm not one of those people that's ever been like starstruck by anybody. Janet Jackson starstruck me. My niece
Yeah.
spoke
That's
to
fair.
her. Yeah, it's fucking Janet Jackson. But other than that,
I bet she smells so good.
I wasn't close enough to smell her.
Man.
Unfortunately,
I bet,
she
like-
looked like she smelled good.
Man.
She looked like she smelled incredible. Honestly,
It's like you never catch Janet
she has such a
Jackson
soft
on
voice.
the
It's
bad
incredible. Like she has such a soft voice. Like,
Yeah.
it was very like.
Where did you meet Janet
Angelic.
Jackson at? Or where did you see
the
her?
Radio Disney Awards? Bro. So the all like award
Live
shows
vacation.
they need filler seats and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so I remember the Radio Disney Awards in particular. There was like a long ass line for this thing. My homie and I, we already had like the ticket wristband things for it, but I was like, yo, let's go like do something real. Just follow me. I was dressed like real. I was dressed through the nines, like whatever.
Yeah.
And I went up and I was like, yo, somebody said that y'all could point me to like the VIP area or whatever, the seating area. And they're like, who? I was like, I think it was like Michael or somebody. I was just like throwing shit. I was thinking this is Michael.
Just
or somebody.
bullshitting.
Yeah, she was like, oh my God. Yeah, she saw I was dressed like really nice. My homie was dressed nice. And she was like, oh yeah, whatever, bro. We were sitting right in front of Raven Simone at the fucking Radio Disney Awards. In like the front like three
Like,
rows
hey,
and
what's up?
stuff, bro. In the front 3 rows. Janet Jackson was the person of the year or whatever, or person of the decade or whatever. And so I
Thumbs
was
up.
like, I was about where you are is where I was to like Janet Jackson and stuff.
Damn.
Yeah. And I was like, bro, I felt I was like, yo, this is what being starstruck is. This is crazy, bro.
Dude, Janet Jackson would be tough, man. That's
Yeah.
like that's like the closest you could get to Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
man.
it literally is. It literally is, bro. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Well, fuck, man. So when you started, you've told me like the movies that you've been in, and like, did your career start off with a lot of like auditioning, or was it a lot of like right place, right time,
Man.
or like when did like the grind start to come in for this
So,
acting shit?
For the acting stuff, my 3rd month in LA is when I booked the Comedy Central spot on Drunk
History, yeah.
Yeah, so how that happened, I just got cast as a background extra on that, and they had dancers on set that day, and like BJ and I, we used to be in a dance crew. You know what I'm saying? We used to dance it up at Texas State. But they were shooting the scene. They had the dancers on stage. They had the music playing, and I was just standing off to the side dancing like by myself. When I hear music, I'm dancing
Yeah.
and stuff. You know, I
Don't
wasn't
mind
doing
me.
anything. I wasn't on camera.
Yeah.
I was dancing. One of the producers sees me, and they go, "Did we cast you as a dancer?" I was like, "Nah." They're like, "Well, you are now." And they said, "Go get up on stage." Went up on stage, and I'm standing right behind, right up, like because there's a stage. And O'Shea Jackson Jr. was playing Big Hurt, the DJ from New York.
Okay, Ice Cube's son.
Yeah,
right?
Ice Cube's
Okay.
son. And so I'm on stage standing behind him or whatever, like dancing and stuff. And then the episode comes out, and I'm like right there. I'm like, yeah, Comedy Central.
Like-
I'm out here. So that started, and it was LA was a grind for the whole 3.5 years I was out there. I did something with Netflix called Magic for Humans. Actually, I can't legally say how that happened, how that like went down. Yeah, I had to sign like papers and stuff.
Prohibitive.
But I am on that show, Magic for Humans. That I actually got that through Craigslist, though. Believe it or
Nice.
not, yeah, I got that as a random Craigslist ad.
Wow.
Yeah, you say
Yeah.
you never know, man. It's
Yeah,
like,
and that's the cool thing about LA. You never know where anything like will lead you.
You just show up
know?
and you're just like, we'll see what happens.
I can only imagine what that's like. You probably end up in a lot of places where you're like, damn, how do I end up here?
yeah, man, and that's all LA is, especially like LA parties, man. You'll just end up places. You're like, yo, where am I right now?
You accept that as part of your life.
at?
You
know?
you just got. I'm one of those people where I'm like, yo, I feel like a feather in the wind. Wherever the wind blows me, I'm gonna end up. I'm not gonna try to force anything. I'm not gonna do anything that feels unnatural to me. But I'm not gonna be closed off to having like something happening to where, because it's an experience. I'm not gonna be closed off to experiences, because
You gotta allow yourself to like see your window when it's your time. Like when you said, that Michael, you know what I'm saying? The lady was like, yeah, of course, come on.
Yeah,
Like, you saw your
exactly.
window, you were like, you just like, all right, let's do this. You know?
And I got like, I was becoming more and more confident with like myself and like my skill in terms of acting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was noticing, like, because I got an agent, you know, did the whole manager thing, but it just felt like nobody was listening to me, and that just bothered me. And then every time I auditioned for so many stuff, like I got told no more than I got told yes. You know, the yeses were always dope, and it's always like getting a yes is always great in acting, but it would always be, you know, you're just a different type of black person. You're just a weird black person. It'd be like you're not quite black enough to play like a gangster, whatever, but you're not like
what do we do with you?
yeah, exactly. And so I would always
fit anywhere.
always get that, and then I would always be told by casting directors and agents and stuff that I was very niche. And
Very niche.
That started
Damn.
bothering the fuck out of me.
They're like, damn, you ain't nothing but a zero type of nigga.
Yeah. They said I was very niche.
Damn.
And then
Ruthless.
fast forward, I was living in Atlanta for a minute, like doing the acting thing. I'm actually on the new show Woke. I did a feature spot on that show Woke.
Nice.
That was one of the last acting gigs that I did in Atlanta or whatever, before I moved back to Austin. And
Okay, so so you moved from California to Atlanta.
Yeah, so I actually moved from California and I went to 17 different states. I was just living on the road with my lady at the time.
Was this COVID?
Yeah, this was during COVID. This
Okay.
was COVID, yeah. So, because when COVID went down in March in LA, shit got weird.
Yeah.
It was not cool. It was not cool at all. With COVID and the protests happening, it started showing California's like true colors,
Yeah.
which made me uncomfortable, which made me not enjoy it at all.
Makes sense.
Yeah, for example, the last 2 weeks of May and the first 2 weeks of June, in that time period, there was a 6 p.m. curfew in LA County every night. And grocery stores were closing at 4 p.m.
4 p.m.?
Yeah, bro. I was living in Claremont, California, which is in LA County. It's about 25 minutes east of downtown Los Angeles. And when these curfews were going on, by the time the curfew would be 6 p.m., by the time 6:03 p.m. came around, there were literally police patrolling the streets on intercoms. Get inside. You're not allowed outside. Be arrested. Yeah, they were arresting
Holy
people
shit.
left and right.
They were
in
saying
places
they were
like-
going to be doing that around here, but I didn't see.
They did that shit in LA.
They went about that shit.
They were arresting people left and right in Hollywood and
Wow.
downtown LA. Yeah, it was
Did
weird.
they have to have one of those cards that say, "Hey, I'm working during this time"? I remember they had
Yeah,
those
what do
like
people on the night
little
shift
permission
doing that?
slips or like
Oh yeah, they did have for night workers and stuff.
Yeah.
They did
Okay.
have that. But yeah, man, it got weird, and I did not like that. I was like, man, this is not cool. This is
Yeah. So you just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go on the road."
Yeah,
and
we-
ended up in Atlanta.
We lost the apartment. Said, fuck it, we gonna get on the road. We just gonna bounce in Airbnbs across the country for a minute, whatever, and then we're gonna end up in Atlanta. Do this acting grind out there. And I did 4 short films in Atlanta. Shot a commercial in Atlanta. Did a TV show. Did Woke in Atlanta.
What kind of commercial did you do?
I did a commercial in Tennessee for Gibson Guitars.
Okay,
They opened
nice.
this place
Sweet.
called Gibson Garage in Nashville, Tennessee.
Nice.
And
That's a player gig.
Yeah,
That's
it
dope.
was dope. It's a custom Gibson guitar shop, and where they make like literally like any type of Gibson guitar you could imagine, like
Hell yeah.
all completely custom like work, and they sell, of course, like Gibson guitars and Epiphones and stuff like that.
Nice.
And so I got cast as the lead in that commercial.
Were you playing the guitar?
No, I was
Wow.
shopping for the guitar. I was shopping for the guitar. I was in a room full of Gibson hollow bodies. There is literally $450,000 worth of guitars that I was in this one room I was in. There's probably like 6 rooms. There's easily over like $7 million worth of guitars in that show.
Oh, yeah.
It was really fucking cool, man. And
You've been practicing.
I play guitar. I play
Really?
I play a little bit. Yeah, I have a Epiphone SG Pro.
I dabble.
My Gypsy Rain, you know.
Nice. But Atlanta though, Atlanta.
Yeah, so I shot that in Tennessee, but I was living in Atlanta at the time. But yeah, and then I shot a short film in New York while I was living in Atlanta, and man, comedy just kept calling to me. Like honestly, comedy kept calling to me. I was getting tired of being called niche, and the last time I got called niche by a casting director, it clicked to me what like all these fucking casting directors really meant when they called me that, because it was this like middle-aged, this like 36-year-old white woman that cast shows for like the CW and stuff. And she looked at my headshot and she was like, "Yeah, you have a good look, but you're very niche." And it clicked. They're pretty much saying you're a type of black person we're not used to yet. We just got used to these Wakanda motherfuckers.
They're like, come on.
We're not used to, like, for real, like that's literally what it is. It's like, yo, we're just now getting adjusted like Wakanda black people and insecure like type black people. You're a category that we're not used to seeing yet, and that's it. I'm like, that's what y'all mean when y'all call me. Every time y'all call me niche, this is what y'all are.
It's a recurring
saying.
theme at this point.
Yeah. And so after that, I was like, man, fuck this. Like I don't need y'all, because all acting is, bro, is all actors are doing are looking for acceptance from this casting director, this producer, this director, this agent, or whatever. They're just looking for acceptance. Do you accept me as this thing, as this person, as this character, whatever? Are you accepting me?
It's a lot of
And
pressure.
so regardless if you like believe you're letting that affect you or not, if you're just playing a game of acceptance your entire life, it's gonna fucking affect you. And it started getting to me, and it started pissing me off more than anything.
I bet.
Because it's like, yo, I don't need any of y'all to tell me that I'm talented. I know I'm talented. I don't need y'all to say like whether I'm good enough or not, because I know exactly like what I bring to the table. And then like I had already like started comedy in 2019 in LA or whatever. And
Was this before or after COVID? I assume
before
before
COVID. I started before COVID. The Atlanta was during COVID.
Talk about like the first run of stand-up comedy.
Yo, so my stand-up journey was weird. So the very first time I did stand-up, it was like 2017, 2018. Like I had just moved to LA, whatever. I was just trying shit. And I performed at this comedy club in Santa Monica. I remember in the green room, there was like pictures of Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart and Aziz Ansari in the green room. Yeah, you know, legends have hit the
Aziz is
stage
gonna
and
be
stuff.
here,
Yeah, I
next
saw
month.
Moon Tower in Moon Tower. And those tickets sold out so fast.
Oh,
Holy shit, they sold out so fast. But yeah, that was the first time I did it. I did okay. I remember getting a few laughs. It was nerve-wracking as fuck. And I remember after that performance, this old woman from San Diego came up to me. Some random old, like, 56-year-old, like, white lady. She came up to me. She goes, "It's very dirty. You need to clean it up. You're not really that good right now, but you got something going." I remember her saying, and then she just, like, walked off, and I never saw her again in my life. But she was like, "You should keep doing this."
Very fleeting.
Then, second time I did stand-up, it was at, like, a cannabis coffee house in North Hollywood.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be great because cannabis? Like, well, I'm chilling. Everybody's smoking. It would be
Cannabis
cool.
and coffee.
Smoke so much fucking weed with all these random people, and I remember this was before I was comfortable like with smoking weed and performing, and I was way too high performing. I was so high, I was literally watching myself in third person. Fuck up. I was like, damn, nigga, this is not good. Like this is
Wow.
this is not good at all. Yeah, my confidence was hurt so bad I didn't perform for an entire year.
A whole year?
An entire year.
Wow.
Like I was completely done with comedy.
Does that affect you now? Like, do you smoke a lot of weed before shows?
Yeah, bro. I'm good now. I'm cool now. Like, I can handle it now. But yeah, second performance, it was not a good idea at fucking all. Didn't perform for an entire year. Fast forward a year later, I go to a friend's comedy show. They have an open mic after the showcase. And he goes, yo, bro, you should like get on stage. I was like, no, I'm good. I just came here to support you. I'm chilling. He goes, come on, bro, don't be a bitch. And I was like, come on, dog. Like, don't try to play me. And yeah, I did that. And I remember there was a comedian there who was touring with Conan at the time. I did that set. I got some good laughs. Somebody tried to heckle me. I handled it pretty well. Not as well as I would handle that shit now, but this comic that tours with Conan, he came up to me. He was like, "Yo, man, you're funny. Like you're legit funny. You should definitely like do this and like figure it out." And yeah, that's when the bug hit me, was that performance, and I just got to it and started performing like every night.
Couldn't say no.
Every night in LA, learning the ropes, learning how to do stand up. I got beat the fuck up like a lot in LA. I got
just
beat
went
up
through the
in LA.
ringer.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
Getting like just people looking at you like you're crazy, like no
what
laughs,
is this man
complete
talking
silence.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All people looking at you weird, sideways, all types of shit. Like,
Gotta get those out the way, you know.
yeah, man, you definitely gotta get those out the way. And
It's part of the
then
process.
fast forward, the pandemic happens because I started in May 2019, where that's when, like my official start, when I was like, yo, I'm doing comedy. It was May 2019, and then fast forward to March, the pandemic happens. Don't perform for a year and a half. So then I'm like, man, I don't even know if stand-up comedy is ever going to come back again. So I'm just going to go back to focusing on acting or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing. I was getting aggravated with acting. I saw that Atlanta had a small comedy scene out there. So I performed twice in Atlanta. And when I performed in Atlanta, I was way better. Like, I don't know why after not performing for a year and a half, I felt so confident, but I just felt really fucking confident, had great sets. And then I was like, yo, I got to get to a comedy city. And I saw that comedy just booming out here in Austin. So I jumped out here in July 1st, you know?
What made you, what did you see, or like what happened to where you were like, okay, Austin is the place?
So
that I need to be for
I
comedy?
performed at the Laughing Skull Lounge in Atlanta, which is probably the biggest comedy club out there. And I got on their open mic. It's hard to get on their open mic. I got on their open mic. I did really fucking well, bro. Had such a good set. And then I was just like looking at, like all the different spots I can perform in Atlanta. And it was only like the open mics was like 4 or 5 a week. It wasn't a lot. And so then I started Googling like, yo, where's the best city for comedy right now? And I saw literally news articles pop up at Austin, how comedy is becoming the new industry out here because of the pandemic.
Every fucking day, every week at least, I would see something about like how comedy in Austin has taken, something about like.
And I was reading that, and I was like,
all kinds of conversations.
Bro, I already know the city. Like, I know the city really. Majority of my friends are in Austin.
This is stomping grounds.
Of the creative people that I know are in Austin, and comedy is booming right now. Is like they call Austin the third coast now. They say L.A., New York, Austin, Texas.
The third coast.
The third coast.
Now they call it the third coast.
Yeah, now they do. And bro, comedy is booming out here, bro. I literally can perform every single night, at least 3 times a night.
It's crazy how much opportunity it is for somebody who just wants to jump out there and do it,
It's great. That's the beauty of comedy too. That's why there's so much freedom in comedy, bro. There's literally no restraint in comedy. Nobody can tell me what to do. Nobody can say, don't smoke that joint before you get on stage. The fuck, I'm gonna smoke this joint before I get on stage. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what? Yeah, nobody's gonna be like, don't go on stage with a beer. Like, I want a beer while I'm on stage.
I'd like to have a beer, sorry.
Yeah, I want to have
grown
a
ass
beer
man.
But like with acting and stuff, it's like, no, say it this way. Don't say it that way. Say it this way.
Yeah.
Do it this way.
Yeah.
Do it that way. Comedy, it's like, whatever the fuck you want to do, you can do.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Well, speaking of that, like, I heard you say earlier that you write your jokes on stage. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So,
what does that mean?
So I don't sit down and write jokes. Like I can sit down and write, but just like a journal and shit,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't sit down and write comedy jokes. And so my writing style is literally I'll be like walking, I'll meditate, I'll be stretching, I'll be taking a shower.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'll be driving, and I something funny will pop into my
It
head.
just hits you.
Yeah, something like a small thing, and then I'll write that small like 2 words or a sentence into like my notes on my phone, and then because once the idea pops into my head, I feel like, okay, if I write the initial like thought down, I'll never lose this idea. I'll know exactly where it goes, and I don't know how that works in my brain. It just does.
Yeah.
And so I'll take this little idea, I'll take this little snippet of like words or phrase or whatever, and I'll take it on stage, and I'll just start talking about it, and I'll see wherever like I can go with it, and it
Nice.
doesn't always work the first time, doesn't always work the second time,
Yeah.
but eventually
Could be hit or
I've
miss.
talked about something enough to there'll be a performance like an open mic or something, or you know like a hosting thing where I can just kind of throw some shit at the wall and see if it sticks. A moment like that where I throw it out there and then something happens where I change a word or I find something else that feeds this particular bit
Yeah.
that allows it to grow into like a full actual like blossom bit or whatever.
Have you always done it like that? Have you? Is that always? been
Yeah,
your
man.
method?
Like I don't know how to write a joke. Like I only talk about myself.
I
Like,
never when people and even like the greats Kevin Hart and
Yeah.
like all these like famous comedians talk about writing jokes. I'm like, how do you write
Yeah.
physically
Well,
write a joke? Like you know how you write a paragraph
Yeah.
and you make an indentation and you when you write a script, there's a certain format. I wonder if there's like a
Well, everybody
Or when you-
writes differently. So
yeah. just
for
like how when you're like writing raps, everybody like has like a different like.
So
kind
for
of thing.
example, Kevin Hart writes while he's on stage, and this is because people are always like, oh, Kevin Hart has other writers for his jokes because he
Yeah.
credits like people as like his writing partners, and what he means by that, I've read his book, like I've listened to so many fucking interviews by this man. He has writers, but what he means, he writes while he's on stage. So while he's throwing shit at the wall while he's on stage, he has people backstage that are listening that are writing verbatim what he said and then giving that to him. So they're not actually writing his jokes.
They're like
just-
stenographers.
yeah, they're just scripting like what he said. You know, they're just putting it down, then giving it to him, and then he's working through the bit like that or whatever.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, but I know comics that literally will write word for word everything they're going to say about their bit and stuff, and that works for some people. That does not work for me at all. I can't do that.
I always see comedians, well, maybe like at like the underground, people who are just starting out. Not to say they're not good or anything, but they always like they're on stage with like a little like mini book, you know.
Yeah,
and it's almost like a thing with like a lot
I
of
had to stop doing
comedians.
that. It's just a
Yeah.
bad habit for me. If I'm working stuff out and it's just like an open mic, I'll have like my phone like recording audio, but I'll have like just the bits that I want to do, but I won't have my full notes out at all. Like I'm not gonna look like my full notes
Just like
really
scrolling,
aren't
just
shit
like,
anyway.
oh, let me do that one.
But yeah, but like I know all my bits or whatever, so I'll just write like white women. I know what bit that is. I'll write
Yeah.
McRib. I know what bit that is. You know, I'll write light skin. I know what bit that is. You know, I'll write mixed black dude. I know what bit that is. Whatever.
No shade to the people who you know who do.
Yeah,
Of
it doesn't
course.
work for me. And I heard you've never seen a comedy special where the comedian had their notes on stage.
That's what I was gonna say. It just looks it looks amateur.
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Does,
saying.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's okay
I
if
like
you
this
are
one.
amateur,
Yeah.
but it's like.
But-
And I'm speaking from like a consumer. I'm not.
Yeah.
I've never been on stage telling jokes before,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like, you know, I feel like if you want to be looked at as like a person who's like
the
seasoned,
presentation, like it
professional, you
know?
definitely is. There's the aesthetic aspect of it, and
Yeah.
even with like bigger comics that will do like an hour set, they have their set list on stage, but it's usually like taped onto a speaker where the audience can't see it, and so they'll have just like the bits that they're gonna do. And what I do, like for showcases and stuff, I get a piece of paper and I just put it in my back pocket, and it's just for a safety net.
Yeah.
If I need to see like what bit I need to do next, or if I forget like a bit, I'll just like look at it real quick. But I'll still like be going through like a bit. I've gotten into the habit, well, not even the habit. I've gotten used to performing now to where I can still continue keeping the joke going while taking a quick peek. All right, cool. I know where I'm gonna go next. Because now, like, I can think about what I'm doing next while I'm doing a joke. Like, I can be doing a joke and literally be having the thought of, okay, after I finish this joke, I'm gonna do this joke next, and then I'm gonna pull in this joke, and then I'm gonna bring this shit back around or whatever.
Nice.
You know, yeah.
Start getting your own methods, your own
system.
system.
Because that's the cool thing about comedy. No, there's no right or wrong way to do it. I'm not going to take a comedy class. You're not.
They have those?
They have. It's weird. It's weird to me. It's like you're either funny or you're not. I don't feel like you can teach somebody how to be funny. You either
I feel like there's some sort of like science to being funny, but I feel like that's a very small part of it.
Yeah, but
when it comes to like timing and like maybe your tone of voice, I don't know, but I feel like all that just really comes natural.
The science of it though is all personal. Like it's all because it's like because
it's also psychology.
I would not be able to do Bill Burr's jokes. Even though his jokes are funny as fuck, makes so many people laugh. If I did Bill Burr's jokes, if you never heard Bill Burr's jokes and you saw me doing Bill Burr's jokes, like something's not right about that.
Yeah.
Something doesn't seem...
Interesting choice here.
Yeah, something doesn't seem right. Even though what I'm saying is undeniably funny.
Yeah, because it's been said before, right.
But it's like...
It's not
something doesn't look right coming from him saying that, you know? That's the beauty, because you can tell if somebody's faking or not, you know? You can...
I like Bill Burr. Did you see him live that one time at South by Southwest? I think I seen him live that first. I think it was the first year we volunteered.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I do recall seeing Bill Burr way back in the day at Esther's Foley's. Yeah. Good times over there, man. Shout out to South by Comedy Crew. A lot of fun, a lot of good jokes, a lot of good skits, all that.
Bill Burr got all the misogynistic jokes.
All of them.
I feel like he's still kind of smooth with it.
He's married to a black woman, bro.
Really?
He's smooth with it, yeah. That's how he's smooth with it, bro.
That's dope. Yeah.
He's married to his sister, bro. Gary Owen.
Rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Wait, we good, Colin? You want to pour up some of this, bro? You good? You've been over there. All right, for sure. What about you, Lorenzo?
Yeah, come on, Lorenzo.
Don't mind if I do.
Here's another cup, bro.
He gave us plenty for a reason.
Partake, King. Partake. This has been a good ass conversation, bro.
Right?
It's been a good ass conversation.
Boys talking.
Hell yeah, bro.
Big snags. Wind up.
Fuck yeah. Everybody good? Are we good?
Yeah.
You're an hour.
For sure.
We're at an hour.
But yeah, comedy's cool, man, because it's the community, which is the coolest fucking part. Because like comedians come in all different backgrounds. Like we all have different religious beliefs, political beliefs, whatever beliefs.
Problems.
But we all understand this thing called comedy, and so we put all like the shit because I would probably disagree with a lot of like how. Like some of the comedians I'm really good friends with, like some of the shit that they believe, but we can relate because we understand comedy, we understand the shit is not easy at all. So
it's like but
we also have because comedians have a certain type of level of self-awareness too. Yeah, because you have to be able to get on stage and talk about yourself and make people laugh.
Laughed at yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
And so it's the community that comes with it, especially in the Austin scene, man. Like it's so supportive out here, bro. Like the comedians, we legit support each other. Whenever like somebody had one of the comedian homies has a show and I don't have a show, I'm gonna go to their show and support. Even though I don't have to be working that night, I'm gonna still go and show support because it's like it's always good to have extra people in the crowd. But
Build
do you
the
ever laugh?
spirit.
Like, do you ever like laugh at their jokes when they're just to kind of like. You know how like you go to like a rap show.
Only laugh if it's funny, bro. Only laughing if it's funny. Even if you're the homie, only laughing if it's funny.
Yeah,
can't come no slack.
Yeah, bro, because it's like that doesn't help.
This ain't no country club.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. And that's it's also like some grimy shit, bro. Like comedy is grimy, bro. Like this shit is a real like it's hard work, bro. It's fucking like rough and it's.
Sometimes the jokes are pretty brutal too,
Well, it's also, bro, sometimes you have fire jokes in a shitty audience. And you're like, yo, I'm hitting y'all with heat right now.
This
y'all are
material
crazy.
rocks. What are you doing?
I have gotten applause breaks for these jokes, and y'all aren't giving me shit, bro.
Yeah.
But I still got to be up here,
When I said brutal, I meant like sometimes like the jokes are just super depressing. And that's what makes them like really funny.
Love that.
I have like some darker, brutal stuff, but I'm goofy as fuck. And it's like, I was depressed for a long fucking time, dog. I don't got time to like throw that energy out there like that, even like with like comedy and stuff, because it's like yo, people are coming to comedy shows to get away from their jobs. You know, they got a shitty boss that they can't stand. The person that works in the cubicle next to them won't shut the fuck up and gets on their nerves and like, be taking their yogurt in the you know, like little stuff like that. Like people go to comedy shows to get away from stuff, and it's like, yo, I'm not going to share like my problems and stuff like with y'all
Well,
unless
I think
it's for sure I can make you like feel good about it. But it's like my shit is goofy, dog. My shit it's all about me. It's all real comes from a real place, but I'm doing it because like I know there's that one person in the audience that's like, yo, I fucking hate my life.
I just want to laugh at some jokes.
Yeah, and it's also like, yo, I thought it's probably like people in the audience are like, yo, I thought about killing myself or whatever.
But instead I went to a comedy show.
Yeah, instead I went to a comedy show. I saw this weird dude with this crazy hair talk about
this niche guy just kept telling these awesome jokes.
You know
I
what
can't stop.
like,
Yeah.
But it's like, it's you funny as fuck. Yeah.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at, again, so there's the jokes that are really depressing, and that's that kind of comedy. But also, there's also like, I see like most jokes, most comedy as like just general problems. For example, like your joke about looking like Lenny Kravitz, looking like you know,
every light-skinned black dude with long hair who's
that's
ever been
technically a
famous.
problem.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So like that, I guess that's like sort of what I was getting at, but it's so interesting.
But it's
that
also because it's like there's one thing like I kind of pride myself on this too. Like a lot of my jokes, it's never surface level because it's like, and I say it. Every light-skinned black dude with long hair who's ever been famous. So it's like, yo, I'm the next motherfucker on the list. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, it's also like, it's a problem because it's like, I hear it all the time. People tell, like, literally all the time. I get called one of them niggas, bro. Like, well, at least one of them, bro. Bro. But it's also like, yo, soon people are gonna be like, yo, you look like Jordan MacDonald. You know what I'm saying? So it's a flip to every side of it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I wasn't disagreeing with you. You know.
No,
that's kind of like how I've been thinking about.
But that's like
comedy.
a good awareness of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I like when people notice shit like that, dude. Because like it it is a problem though. It's like, yo, does anybody ever tell you look like Prince? Like, yes.
It's almost like you keep.
Someone told me that earlier today.
Yeah, for real. Like literally, that happened last night. Someone was like, "You have like a Prince thing going on." Have you heard that before? Like, yes, I have. Like, I heard it 2 hours ago by another white lady. Yo.
I'm always afraid of
by another
Prince
white
like
lady
that.
on 6th Street.
Put a lot of work in my Prince vibe.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Jordan. Who? And I hate these questions. I'll definitely not put the big one on you. Who is one of your favorite comedians these days?
Bro, okay, so these days or like overall?
We don't have to do overall. I feel like the overall is a lot of pressure because people change all the time.
Overall isn't a lot of pressure. Overall is Dave Chappelle because he's the greatest fucking comedian that's ever existed on the planet Earth.
Dave
like,
Chappelle's good,
Richard
man.
Pryor is incredible. Like Richard Pryor is revolutionary. There's no comedian that's ever been like Dave Chappelle. So overall, you know, but right now Hannibal Buress. Hannibal Buress is my dog. That's my dog. That's my dude. Hannibal Buress is cold as fuck. And
I like how he has like
comedy.
some rap verses.
Yeah.
I think he's on Open Mike Eagles album.
Yeah,
or some shit
yeah.
Like that.
And the cool thing about Hannibal Buress too, what I think also kind of attracts me to his comedy in particular is he doesn't do that well with a lot of black audiences.
Really?
Yeah, he has very mixed multicultural audiences. It's not just white people. He has very mixed crowds and stuff. And I think that's like an interesting like dynamic to have because like you kind of can see like, oh, I can see like Hannibal Buress not doing well in the black room. But that doesn't mean he's not funny. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's this
just not feeling him. Ugh.
Yeah, but there's also like because you have to as a comedian if you're in a black room you have to perform way different.
That's not to say that black people don't like Hannibal Buress, of course,
because
we
but it's just a different type of vibe. The style of it is way different than what a comedian.
Most black comedians are like, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that they're all the same, but it's like
but there's a certain type of energy behind it with black comedians that have. But you can tell like when people have mostly performed in black rooms too. It's a certain type of energy because you can't necessarily do even your same material. Or do it the same way. Like you gotta be off the cuff, like in the moment right then and there. Like The black rooms usually don't want to hear like your jokes. Honestly, they want to hear you talk shit about what's going on right there.
They want to hear race.
They want to, they want to hear they want to hear like the shit too that makes like these white girls get uncomfortable and be like, you can't say that on stage. You know, like
it's been like that for.
PC.
I feel like that's. I almost feel like that's. I don't want to call it like a go-to or like, but I feel like that's a common thing amongst like black comedians. And I guess I see like white comedians, all types of Mexican comedians, Hispanic, Asian. Races are always the easy issue to make jokes about. And sometimes like, I guess it just depends on the comedian, of course. Sometimes it always seems like you're kind of like leaning on it for like you're funny, but sometimes like the comedian can just make race jokes the whole time and it'll be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, like I have race jokes, but most of my race jokes are about being mixed because there's not besides South African what's his name?
Trevor Noah.
Besides Trevor Noah, there's really not another mixed comedian.
I don't know of many that are like in the big
and Trevor
cultural
Noah is
zeitgeist like that.
a mixed comedian from South Africa, so him and I have two completely.
That's a different kind of mix.
Yeah, you know. And so for me personally, I'm like, oh shit, I have such a huge advantage. I just have to talk about myself because there's really no
one else talking about it.
Yeah, there's no other comedian that's talking about being a mixed black dude that was raised in the country because there's no comedian that I know of that has this experience or whatever. So it just makes and I feel like it makes my race material more original too because it's like, oh, I'm
you have a unique perspective to speak from.
Yeah, exactly.
Even when like I said, it's not like I feel like if you're a good comedian, like it's everybody does it. Everybody does it, right? If you're a good comedian and it's gonna work, like and it's I don't think it ever gets old. Yeah. Unless if it depends on the comedian. Sometimes like
because race is always such a big thing in societal like issues. Like race is always such a big thing.
I've heard Ty make like 5 Asian jokes in a row.
Yeah.
And they were all funny.
All funny.
You know?
Shout out Tywin.
Yeah.
Ty's hilarious, bro. Ty is a funny man.
I don't know, man. It's it's just something I've seen. Like Kings of Comedy. You ever watch Kings of Comedy?
Yeah.
I was a really big fan of that as a kid, man. I think who you think was the funniest on Kings of Comedy? Bernie was probably the funniest.
Right. Said was crazy with it.
Said got to come second, but Steve Harvey came on like 3 times, I think, 2 or 3 times.
Steve Harvey had some hard ones.
Steve Harvey was pretty good.
Steve Harvey did a special in Africa. I think it was in Africa, and that shit was so funny, bro.
He's a funny guy, man.
He's hilarious, bro.
He's got staying power. Gronkowski. Like they made a Lego version. They made a Lego version of Steve Harvey.
During New Year's.
It was his face, and he fucking like slammed that shit down. Yeah. And it was a total It was so disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
Terrible.
Gronk was trying to humiliate Steve Harvey, which he did. But Steve Harvey had a joke for it, bro. He was like, you know how much it costs to get all them brown Legos, you know? And it was amazing how you can just like somebody can intentionally just come and like blatantly try to disrespect you like that, and you still got something, you know. It's on TV. I gotta say something, you know.
Chamber never
ends. Like, it was funny.
That's also the amazing thing about comedy, bro. It just opens your world up to so many. You get to a certain level in comedy, you can do whatever it is you want. You want to do movies, you can do movies. You do TV, you can do TV. You want to host shit, you can host shit. You want to
be a street performer.
You can be a street performer. You want to have a fucking news channel, you can have a fucking news channel.
That's
like
cool.
It opens and. Wherever there's a stage, you got work.
Comedy always gets in the door, right?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. It's because you can do corporate events. You know what I'm saying? You can do with clean comedy. You can do corporate events. You can go and do
white collar comedy.
You can go and do the and bro. And it's also, bro, there's comedians that you've never seen, you've never heard of. They're not on TV, they're not in commercials, they're not on movies, and they're making $1.5 million a year from doing road gigs. Because peep this, right? Say you're a road comic, right? Say you have a 30-city tour lined up, right? And in these cities, you do 4 shows in a weekend, right? 4 shows, and say these are smaller comedy clubs, so say 4 shows, 125 tickets sold each show, sold out, 125 tickets sold each show, $25 a pop. You do that 30 weekends.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of fucking money. From telling jokes.
Like for telling jokes.
There's comedians touring with 20 minutes. That's it.
They show up and they're like, "Hey, I got a cup and a half of coffee. I'm gonna run through real quick on you."
Do you like understand that? There's comedians that are touring the country with only 20 minutes.
I bet that 20
On
minutes
some like knock knock,
slaps.
who's there type shit. It's jokes, you know.
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy, and like they're making bread.
Yep.
It's dope, bro. It's so, and it's not about the money, but just like knowing, like, yo, you can like make good money off of just fucking talking shit into a mic, bro. It's, bruh,
That's the beauty of comedy.
Yeah.
greatest job in the world, bro.
You get good at it,
man.
you do whatever you want with it. It's a beautiful thing.
Son.
All right, man. So we're gonna wrap up here. I
Word.
just want to have you
Hell
give
yeah.
you the floor for one more thing, man.
Okay.
Maybe a couple more things.
Okay.
Is what do you have to say to the young Jordans out there who's 14, 15, 16, going through college, whatever, who want to, be on the same path and really like, be on the grind like you are right now.
Understand you are a unicorn, UNIXORN, uniquely never imitating extra or redundant nonsense.
Nice.
Like what that means to be a unicorn, everybody else is literally already taken. And one of my favorite Kid Cudi interviews ever, he said, everybody talks about how they want to be different, how they want to stand out, how they want to, just be different than everybody else. And the key to being different is literally just being yourself. And it's such a cliche thing to say, but it's so true. Like, yo, if you like some shit, bro, like it. Like, if you think some shit is fly, wear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I shop in the women's section. I do not give a fuck, bro. I have pulled shorties wearing capris, dog. I do not care, bro. I'm
Easy peasy.
The grandma jackets.
Yeah, exactly, bro. It took me like a long ass time to get cool with myself. And so get cool with yourself, because
That's what cool is.
yeah, and you could, bro, you got to deal with yourself regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, from beginning, like from as soon as we come out the womb, bro, to as soon as like we take our last breath, bro.
It's just you in the end,
You've
man.
just
Yup.
been dealing with yourself this entire time.
Yeah.
You might as well get cool with yourself. Like, get cool with yourself and understand you're a fucking unicorn. You can do like whatever, bro. I've been in James Cameron movies. You know what I'm saying? I've been on Netflix. My face has
From
been
Sherman, straight out of the
I'm
cattle
from
ranch in
Texas,
Sherman,
bro.
Texas.
To James
Black
Cameron.
Angus
Man.
Cattle Ranch. My face has been on the homepage of Netflix.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I'm in a I'm the face of
history.
Mike's Hard Lemonade Seltzer campaign right now, dog. Like,
Hell yeah.
yeah, bro. Like, national fucking, like, bro. I'm from Sherman, Texas, dog. Like, I literally was raised on a farm.
Nice.
And the shit that's happened in my life, I can't believe, even as I say it, bro. It's hard to believe that it's legit happened to me, but this is real fucking life, and this shit. And I work my ass off too. Like, find whatever you like and just work on that shit.
Chase it.
Yeah, because
Exercise.
I've been doing this whole thing for at least 10 years now. It
Yeah.
started when I was 18. I'm 28 right now, about to turn 29. Like, it's been a 10-year journey of like chasing something professionally or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And pursuing something professionally and catching something professionally. But yo, just do it. Wear the shit that you want to wear. Like, grow your hair as long as you want to grow it. Shave your shit bald. Dye that shit fucking purple. Like, just do shit.
It's your world.
Because at the end of the day, bro, everybody shits and everybody dies.
Life's a bitch and then you die.
Exactly. You're gonna shit and you're gonna die, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna shit and you're gonna die.
You might do it
Spoiler
simultaneously.
Simultaneously.
Sometimes that
yeah.
happens.
Same
And
time.
so with that little thing, with something as simple as that, for me and my brain, it's like, oh, damn, like I
I'ma
don't
do
have
me.
fuck everybody else. What everybody else is saying, like that I should and shouldn't do. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna shit and die, bro. It doesn't matter. Like, whatever,
Fuck
So,
yeah,
Do
man.
your own thing, man.
You got anything else, Dylan?
I think that really covers it. We
Yeah.
got a hell of a conversation in
Thank
the
you.
books, and we got a hell of a guest that managed to show up and
Fuck
save
yeah.
save our skins.
Always show up, man. Always, yeah, and show up, yo. Showing up is literally 90% of it. Show the fuck up.
Gotta
Show
show
up
up.
on time. Show up early. Do not be late for shit. If you show up before everybody else shows up, people notice that shit, and people will give you more opportunities because that shows that you're dependable. A lot of people fuck shit up, fuck opportunities up because they didn't show up on time. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, do whatever the fuck you got to do to get your ass there on time and get the bag.
Yep.
Whatever. If that's a financial bag, if that's an opportunity bag, secure it. Like,
Just be
for real.
punctual.
And all you got to do
Yeah.
to secure the bag sometimes is just show up before everybody else does, or just show up before 5 minutes before shit pops off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hell
bro,
yeah.
show up and just do your own shit, because at the end of the day, you gonna take a fat ass shit and you gonna fucking die.
You heard it here first. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. Get the bag. Shelly Nicks,
Drumline.
Dylan Harkins, Jordan MacDonald,
Yes.
Loose Cannon Show. We out.
Peace.